Hello, wonderful people, and welcome to iLit Lesson D2.31. Today we will focus on Latin roots, how to describe when, where, and how to make connections, and then, of course, apply what you have learned. When we talk about Latin roots, I want you to remember that there is a base word, and the base word is typically the simplest form of a word. These can be combined with affixes to form new words. Roots and affixes are there to help us understand a word's meaning. Many English words have roots and affixes that come from the ancient Latin language. Believe it or not, Latin is not a language that's spoken today, but we use parts of that language in our everyday speech. Notice that image means likeness. Con means together. So when we're in a convention, we're all together. Fact or fact is to make, do, or to do, such as factory. Then we have duct, to lead, or produce. I recommend writing these down in a notebook so that you're able to see them. Pause and continue when you're done. Here we see the Latin root or affix with its meaning and an example word. Image means likeness, such as imagine, so you are imagining a likeness in your head. Con means with or together, like a conductor. A conductor is someone who might help the entire band or orchestra stay together. Fact, to make or do. To manufacture is to make something or to make parts. Duct, to lead, to educate, to help other people know more, to take the lead. Let's pretend that I do not know what the word conductor means. I see the Latin root con, which means with or together, and duct, which means to lead. I can put the meanings of the words together to figure out that the word has to do with leading together. I think about the conductor of a band. The conductor leads the band members to play their instruments together. You'll be practicing this today in iLit. Today we will also work on making connections. Notice that this photograph appears to be an optical illusion. Look right now. What helps you to know that this is an optical illusion? Make sure that you pay attention to photos, illustrations, and other images that are included with the text. Make connections to the images, and that can help you understand the ideas of what the author is trying to get across to you. I want you to remember that images can be powerful. They make you think about something, or you're more easily able to relate to what's going on. Words can do the same thing. When I look at the word friend, I immediately think of my best friend Alex, who I met in college, and we were RAs together. This really helps solidify a connection for me when people talk about friends. As I read these words, I would like you to think about what connections you can make. Do you have stronger connections to some words than other words? Let's start. Huge, beautiful, tough, friend, belong, safe, danger. What are your connections? Are there any words that you feel more strongly about? For the next set of words I read, I would like you to think about everyday images. What pops into your head when I say television? Do you think of a favorite show? Or do you think about the thing that's in your house that is a television? Magazines. Is there one that you read, or maybe someone in your family? Are they online or are they paper? Textbooks. Websites. Posters, graffiti, movies. I just had a really strong connection to the word graffiti. I was lucky enough to go to Europe, many years ago before Willow was born, and I was surprised by how much graffiti there was everywhere. Living in Minnesota, I don't feel like we see a lot of graffiti in our neighborhoods. But when I was in Europe, it was all over the place. It was very interesting. So that's the image that immediately pops into my mind when I think of the word graffiti. All right, let's start with some literal practice. When I talk about images, we're going to talk about pictures. To begin with, let's say I type elephant into a search engine and click on the images. Well, that means I would get a million pictures of elephants. How could I decide which one to use for a project? I think about my poem. In the poem, I describe elephants as majestic and powerful. Do I want to use a cartoon drawing with an elephant with a peanut in its trunk? No, that probably wouldn't fit with the words majestic and powerful. No, I would want a photo of a real elephant, maybe lifting a fallen tree or charging through the brush. I want the image to match my words. I would like you to think about when you pick out images in your everyday life or you take pictures, do your pictures match your words? Do the images? Let's see what you would pick. A poem about a sandwich rotting in the bottom of a locker might include pictures of all of the following except flies, flowers, a puddle of goo, an unhappy custodian. Make your choice. If you said flowers would be the one that doesn't fit, I would agree with you. Well done. When an author picks out the cover of their book, they also want you to make some connections. If we look at the cover of Trino's Choice, we see that Trino's face is in shadows and there's a very slight image of a boy running right here. Things that we really have to pay attention to catch. Think about how this builds the mood or perhaps the suspense of the book. Think about book covers that you've seen. Do you often choose a book by its cover? I know I do. Pause right here and look at your own book cover of the book that you are reading. What do you notice? What made you decide to give this book a chance? Is it like another cover of a book that you've read? Pause, look, then come back. Welcome back. So, for your follow-up assignments today, I would like you to go into iLit, do the Latin roots assignment, and the word reading 7 assignment. Yes, please watch any and all videos they give you. Then, at your end of the time, spend 20 to 30 minutes reading from your choice book. Think about the connections we made and the images in your head as you go. Great work today. Thanks for joining me.